from that reminder of what you've lost, she'd tell him. They had a few options, but the one that made the most sense was Atlanta, Georgia. His wife had the option to join a law firm there and even get Jerry a job through a client called the Dittler Brothers. Why not, Jerry said. The Dittler Brothers was a company that would print out scratch tickets and stamps. Now, this is a little bit cliche, but they needed security, and so ex-cop Jerry was the perfect man for the job. Unfortunately, Jerry and his wife separated shortly after, leading to a divorce in 1983, just 2 years after their move to the big city. But Jerry was used to setbacks by this point, and at least this time, he still had a job that he loved and one that he was great at. You see, in the police force, he was a rookie in a force of veterans. At the printing facility, he was the ex-cop who was trusted beyond all others. He had the utmost respect. I can really climb the ladder here, he thought. And he was right. They recognised his almost military precision and serious care when it came to duties, and quickly gave him the most important job they had available: head of security for the production line. This was at the time the company had just taken on their biggest contract in history, the McDonald's Monopoly event. This was an absolute huge deal for Jerry. The company was in charge of printing 500 million tickets, which left the production running 24 hours a day, 7 days a week for 3 months straight. Now, for the majority of the tickets, they're unimportant, just a bunch of filler stuff. You've all participated, right? You buy certain items on the menu. Nowadays they have stickers attached to the packaging. You peel them off and you either win or you don't. The free stuff you win can be on the menu, or random prizes all the way up to a crisp $1 million. So why was Jerry's new job so important? Well, those $1 million tickets had to be printed somewhere, and on those printing machines were minimum wage employees. The question is, how could the Dittler brothers trust minimum wage employees to not steal the highest value stickers? The answer is they couldn't. So the room was sealed and security watched them like hawks. Jerry took the job so serious that he would follow employees to the bathroom and watch them conduct their business. He checked their shoes before they could leave their warehouse, and he would have done more, but he wasn't allowed. When big tickets were to be printed, Jerry would be present. He then placed them in an envelope that had a special anti-tamper seal attached, and then with another security member, escort them to a vault, which they would then securely lock away until they were ready to be transported to the specific McDonald's store that would be the one to hand out to the lucky winner. As a refresher, this is how the whole chain of responsibility goes. McDonald's originally contracted a third party to handle the logistics of the event. This third party was called Simon Marketing. They were the company that then put the Dittler brothers in charge of printing and storing the tickets. Dittler, of course, put Jerry in charge of moving the high-value tickets to the vault when they were printed. Now, the next step of the process is the most pivotal and the one that is the most difficult logistically to solve. How do you safely transport the winning tickets to each individual McDonald's store, which then would hand them out to the lucky winner? Courier services were completely out of the question because they couldn't be trusted. This is when Simon Marketing offered Jerry the opportunity of a lifetime. The diligence to the security of the operation is exactly what landed him this job. They wanted to pay him all expenses in a hefty sum of cash to fly each individual winning ticket across the United States to whichever McDonald's would then have the winning ticket. Every flight would be first class, every hotel stay would be luxury. Now imagine his face when he heard this offer. He would be sipping expensive champagne, whiskey, bragging to air hostesses about his days on the force, and showing off his expensive new lifestyle. Unfortunately, that wasn't enough for Jerry. He was quickly accustomed to the high life and needed more excitement, which is why in 1989 he decided to steal one of the tickets that he was transporting, a $25,000 win which he gave to his stepbrother. I just want to see if I can get away with it. One hell of a story to tell people one day, right? Jerry joked as he handed it over. But just like that first hit of heroin, that's how it all starts. When weeks passed by and no one noticed the ticket was missing, that's when Jerry decided life had given him lemons and it was time to squeeze some of that sweet, sweet lemonade. Let's imagine you're Jerry. You've got tickets that are worth money and you know they're not being tracked. The only issue is, how do you redeem them? You can't do it yourself. You can't even use your family or close friends. That would be way too obvious. Instead, you need to find people to sell to. Now, Jerry's first client was his local butcher. A $10,000 ticket for just $2,000. A money duplication hack, but in real life. It worked flawlessly. Now this is the part of the story you're probably not going to believe, but it's completely true. Shortly after Jerry's butcher claimed this ticket, a totally unrelated McDonald's employee got caught stealing 3,000 Monopoly tickets. This was unacceptable to McDonald's, who forced a change in production and transportation. It also meant that any tickets Jerry had stolen to this point were unlikely to ever be traced, so long as no one snitched. He could walk away now with his winnings, with his reputation, and his job intact. Which is exactly what he did. Not by choice, of course, but because the protocols had changed. McDonald's now forced the tickets to be secured in sealed rolls with anti-tamper seals, preventing the theft of individual tickets. It was too risky, people would have noticed. Which left Jerry back to his mundane life. No more jet setting around the country, no more luxury hotels, and no more thousands of dollars of theft. That is until 1995, when McDonald's decided to change the security system again, this time changing to the method they still use today in 2022, attaching the tickets to drink cups. To determine where the cups would be sent, McDonald's tasked Simon Marketing again to develop a software that randomly selected winning stores. What McDonald's didn't know is that whoever at Simon Marketing was calling the shots overruled their wishes completely. They never explained to Jerry exactly why, but he watched them do the random generation thousands of times, and if it ever selected a Canadian McDonald's, they just re-rolled the software. They absolutely refused to let anyone in Canada win a penny. Now Jerry wasn't an idiot. He knew that this was wrong. He also knew he could use this in the future if he needed to. McDonald's were advertising these prizes in Canada, reaping the rewards of millions of Canadian citizens buying extra food every time the event ran. They were doing this while never knowing what they were buying was a lie. They could never ever win. Jerry recognised this, and he saw a get out of jail free card if he ever got caught for his previous theft. Previous because he of course couldn't steal anymore. The anti-theft seals made it completely impossible. Until, of course, the company in Hong Kong that made the seals sent a package of them to Jerry by mistake. If Jerry had bad luck earlier in life, it was surely making it up to him now. Not only was he back in the game transporting the tickets, but the tamper-proof was trusted so much and the McDonald's employees so little that no one was checking if the winning tickets arrived at the individual stores, as that would involve employees being able to steal them instead. They just assumed if it arrived, that was the winning ticket. Which meant the only point of failure for Jerry's criminal endeavour was Jerry himself. If he could prevent the cashing out of tickets being tracked back to him, he was essentially a ghost. The first ticket he stole was the jackpot, $1 million, which he knew was wrong and of course did make him feel guilty, which is why this first ticket was sent as an anonymous donation to a children's hospital. It's easy to imagine Jerry thought he was a real modern day Robin Hood at this point. Shortly after though, he went back to doing it for profit, which involved Jerry's butcher yet again. Knowing it was all legit, he wanted the big bucks this time, and Jerry offered him a $200,000 ticket with the agreement he'd be paid back $45,000 on the kickback. Cash this out using a relative, don't do it yourself. You already cashed that $10,000, if you cash another, people will know something's going on, and do it out of state just in case, he told him while handing it over. The butcher devised a plan. He said he'd give it to his sister and send her on a little bit of a road trip. Jerry thought everything went according to plan. 200,000 big ones, but unfortunately it came with a lesson learned. See, the butcher was also smart. When Jerry asked for his $45,000 cut, the butcher just laughed in his face. What are you gonna do? Report me to the police, he said. And he was right. Jerry couldn't do anything. He felt disappointed, but that soon turned to anger. See, when someone won a big prize, McDonald's capitalised on it. They asked if winners would join into a commercial for the Monopoly event, further pushing the narrative that you, an average Joe, could win big and change your life by eating a Big Mac. Imagine Jerry's face when he saw the butcher come on television in an ad. He almost lost his mind. Are you fucking crazy? He yelled down the phone at the butcher. Someone's gonna figure this out and I'm gonna go to jail over this. But nobody was watching. Nobody noticed. Nobody cared about the statistical improbability of a butcher winning 10 grand and then 200 grand shortly after. I mean, the only people that could even check since the first one wasn't public were McDonald's or Simon Marketing. If McDonald's were paying attention, they'd have noticed that Canadians had never won anything, which was much more obvious, and yet nobody noticed. And it wasn't Simon Marketing's money, so they didn't care. This betrayal, however, taught Jerry a lesson and left him with a dilemma. How exactly was he going to distribute these tickets from now on? How would he make sure the person buying them would also take the criminal activity seriously, and how would he make sure he got paid? What he needed was a criminal who had access to a network of people and the bankroll to pay before cashing the tickets. Jerry's luck took care of this issue in 1995 at the Atlanta airport when he bumped into a man named Gennaro Colombo, one of the Colombo crime family. Yes, our man Jerry ran into an up-and-coming mobster from Brooklyn. Gennaro Colombo was the perfect partner in crime to get associated with. A man who committed crime for a living, had access to a massive criminal network and millions of dollars in capital. The Colombo family operated clubs, underground casinos, sports betting rings. They're involved in drug trafficking, labour rackets and other illegal operations. They got to talking, and by November of 1995, Gennaro wanted to know if Jerry was legit, so Jerry handed over a ticket for a Dodge Viper to prove everything was above board. Now again, imagine Jerry's face. This was like something out of a nightmare. Instead of keeping a low profile, Gennaro, a known made man, participated in the McDonald's commercial. Jerry of course knew better this time than to call the mobster and shout at him, but he knew this was a big mistake. Gennaro, on the other hand, was an arrogant, vain man. He watched too many mob movies, dressed identically, and couldn't speak a sentence without profanity. I want them to fucking see me taking their money. I want them to know it was me who fucked them, he told Jerry, while wearing his customary double-breasted suit and speaking completely with his hands. Shortly after this, Gennaro brought Jerry into the family, introducing him to his wife Robin. If there was ever a perfect couple, it was this one. She didn't just look the part of a crime family wife, she played it. The first time Jerry met her, she got out of the back of a limousine, flanked by two massive bodyguards, who were often seen walking her Rottweilers just behind her. This couple together was like the cover of a gangster movie, and Robin immediately took to Jerry, playfully referring to him as Uncle Jerry, while discussing how she would get a slice of the McDonald's pie fresh out of the oven. Robin was not a woman to waste time. The first ticket requested was the full $1 million, for which Jerry accepted a meager $50,000. Robin gave this ticket to her father, William Fisher, and then purchased another one to give to her brother-in-law. Before long, Jerry was being introduced to everybody, friends of the family, and over the next year he sold many tickets, both to the mob and friends of the mob. The Colombo family were using McDonald's money to build new criminal enterprises from which they would then go on to profit for many years. While all this was going on a corporate level, Simon Marketing was failing upwards. They were publicly seen to be successfully handling a massive undertaking with many moving parts with the McDonald's monopoly. This led to other contracts with large companies like Mars Incorporated, who decided to run a contest for M&Ms and tasked them, the most trusted in the business, to handle the logistics. The rules for this one were very simple. Buy M&Ms, eat M&Ms, and if you find a grey one, you win $1 million. But what Mars didn't know is all roads lead back to Jerry, who stole the grey M&M and stored it in Colombo's freezer, which almost ended in tragedy if it wasn't for Uncle Jerry being there. One night, Robin, while stoned, was looking for a snack and she very almost ate the single grey M&M. Luckily, it wasn't there for very long, as Gary gave it to an associate in the Colombo family, and then of course the McDonald's operation continued as before. 3 more tickets, including a $1 million prize, were handed out to Jerry's stepbrother, but unlike everyone else, he didn't want the money. He actually put them in Salvation Army clothes, and would later say he just didn't need it. Fast forward to 1998, Jerry was kind of lost in the sauce at this point. I mean, his life was fantastic, he owned multiple properties, he had a lovely new wife, his social circle were powerful and rich, but he'd been around the mob for too long and started to think he was also a made man. He started dressing in sharp suits and using a new name, Geraldo Constantino. Yes, Jerry Jacobson was now Geraldo Constantino. He also joined a classic car club and of course used that as a new way to find contacts to sell more tickets. What's interesting is that Jerry was also playing a dangerous game. At one point he asked Robin, the wife of a mobster, to marry him, while she confessed to be cheating on Gennaro. Their relationship was a little bit complex. See, the mob life was not for her and she wanted out, which on May 7th, 1998, her wish was granted, though not how she would have preferred. The family were involved in an accident on the highway where a truck hit the car, sending it flying. Robin and her son had superficial injuries. Gennaro, on the other hand, was unfortunately at death's door. He was unexpected to make any kind of recovery, and 2 weeks later in the hospital they made the decision to turn off his life support machine. This left Robin out of the mob life as she wanted, but also left Jerry without the connection to the Colombo family. If he wanted to continue the operation, he needed to find someone who could fill the massive hole in the operation that Gennaro left, which is when he met Don Hart. Don had absolutely no reason to trust Jerry, so he gave him $200,000 up front, which secured him some trust and connection to multiple new associates, through which he could start distributing tickets. One of which was Andrew Glum, a man who was convicted after transporting cocaine across the country, and then tried to dodge his sentence by fleeing to Europe on a 16-month vacation, only to be arrested upon his return. Jerry's new associates were definitely nowhere near as competent or trustworthy as the one he just lost, but he still had to get rid of the tickets somehow, and so Andrew was given a $1 million jackpot. This carried on for a little while until March of the year 2000. Everything had been going fine. Jerry had stolen to this stage well over $24 million of tickets over the last decade, and nobody had noticed a single penny missing. McDonald's seemingly ignored the entire thing, and Simon Marketing were way too busy seeing their success rise as a result of the campaign to take any kind of close look. This was of course until the inevitable happened. Now the likelihood of a secret or crime being discovered grows exponentially for every additional person who knows about it. For Jerry, the number was now in the dozens with first-hand information. Those dozens likely told a handful of people each on average, and on it goes. The number of people who knew at least enough details to make life difficult for the operation were in the hundreds. Robin's father, William Fisher, and Robin's friend, Gloria Brown, have illegally won McDonald's Monopoly prizes, and Uncle Jerry is behind everything. This was the message that the FBI received on their anonymous tip line. Considering the term Uncle Jerry, and of course interviews with Robin many years later, it is believed that the Colombo family were the people who tipped off the FBI because they were upset that Robin no longer wanted to be involved with the family anymore after the death of her husband Gennaro. At this stage, Special Agent Richard Dent of the FBI made contact with a McDonald's representative called Amy Murray, aka McQueen, to inform her that the Monopoly game might be rigged and she should consider looking into it. McQueen then phoned the two people named in the tip, William Fisher and Gloria Brown. She discovered that the two who claimed the winnings in different states were currently living in Florida, which is a fairly big coincidence. Enough to at least call back Agent Dent, who began Operation Final Answer. The operation consisted of 25 agents across the United States and involved tracking over 20,000 phone numbers to record conversations surrounding the criminal enterprise Jerry was to this stage running for over a decade. Now, while the investigation was still finding its legs, Jerry met with an old friend called Dwight Baker, who was having some health issues. Jerry, being the good guy he was, offered the deal of a lifetime. I'll give you $1 million ticket, you get your foster son Chandler to cash it in out of state, and then you give me $100,000 back. A deal too good to be true, especially if you knew he's been doing this for so long and nobody's ever been caught. Unfortunately, that's not exactly how it went down. You see, when Chandler went to the McDonald's to turn in the ticket, he was confronted by TV crews, and the FBI were watching the whole time. Despite the size of the investigation, a year went by and Jerry was still up to tricks as of 2001. Unhealthy old friend Baker transferred some land to Jerry in exchange for a couple more winning tickets, one for $500,000 which he gave to his wife's sister, and one for $1 million which he gave to a friend called Ronnie Huey. At this point, McDonald's very own McQueen was now paying very close attention to each victor, passing along information of any suspicious activity to Special Agent Dent of the FBI. Huey was one such suspicious character for the reason that he refused to take part in the TV commercial, citing his recent depression and wanting to remain anonymous, which to be honest sounds perfectly reasonable, but when Dent looked into his details, noticed that Huey lied about his home address and claimed the ticket out of his home state and then immediately returned there. He actually lived just a few miles away from where the last $1 million prize was won. The next $500,000 that was to go to Baker's wife's sister would actually be claimed using great operational security. They did everything perfect. They rented an apartment out of state, obtained a phone line, a mailing address, a bank account, and even a driver's license for her before she claimed it. It was actually like she lived there. No one would ever be able to discover the scam, except for the fact that she bragged to all of her family members, and this information made its way back to the FBI, who discovered she lived just a couple miles south of the last two winners. With all of this information, the FBI was able to create a 25-mile golden triangle of suspicious activity for the McDonald's winners, and guess where the middle of the triangle pointed to? To Jerry. McDonald's at this point were very close to making the decision to cancel the whole game. They had no idea how far this thing went, how long it had been going on, but they now knew that all of the recent winners were the result of a thief. They were still of course profiting from the marketing it generated, and the FBI managed to convince them to continue just a little while longer so they could gather even more evidence. It was at this stage that Dent of the FBI pulled one of the oldest tricks in the book, and it worked like a charm. He placed a trap for the group. The checks for the last 2 winners were purposefully delayed. This sowed distrust among the group. Jerry, who was owed money and wasn't getting it, Baker, who thought his wife's sister had taken the money and was lying to the pair. The next step was for Simon Marketing to contact the woman, asking her to head to California to pick up the prize. Baker was so paranoid at this point that his wife's sister was stealing the money, he waited at the airport to confront what he thought was the thief. She touched down with $20,000 in cash and a check for the remaining $480,000. As the pair argued in the airport, the undercover FBI was recording everything. This was of course the fatal flaw in Jerry's operation. The casual incompetence of others would be what eventually led everything back to Jerry. After the confrontation in the airport, the FBI followed Baker for the next few days and watched him pull out $70,000 in cash, place it in a McDonald's paper bag, and drive to a town called Fair Play, ironically. This is where Baker exchanged the bag for another winning ticket from Jerry. During this interaction, the FBI learned that the next winner would be one of Huey's contacts that lived in Texas. A quick check on Huey's phone records led the FBI to a man named John Davis, who just so happened to claim a $1 million prize a few days later. This was enough to bring down the whole operation. The FBI had everything they needed. The end of a decade of McFraud. As of the 22nd of August 2001, 8 people were taken into custody. Jerry Jacobson, Dwight and Linda Baker, John Davis, Andrew Glom, Michael Hoover, Ronald Huey, and Brenda Fennis. Simon Marketing, of course, were some of the first people to discover the arrests due to the fact that Jerry was still working on transporting the tickets for them, and they were of course confused. How could the same security guard who checked other employees' shoes for stolen tickets be the one who was stealing from them for an entire decade? The biggest shock though was their stock price, which dropped from $3.05 each to 19 cents in a complete straight line down. So now you're gonna ask, what happened to Jerry? Well, remember that get out jail free card? It worked. The charges filed against him would have had him die in jail. Instead, he got 37 months in prison, and they seized all of his assets in exchange for his testimony on Simon Marketing rigging the McDonald's monopoly to prevent Canadians from winning for over a decade. Simon Marketing lost their contract with McDonald's, who were completely outraged that this was going on under their noses. And then, poetically, Simon Marketing went out of business. McDonald's CEO Jack Greenberg decided to make it up to their customer base by creating a very special giveaway of $10 million in which a prize patrol would randomly walk up to customers in stores and just give them $1 million prize. Luckily, all roads did not lead back to Jerry on this one. As another show of good faith, McDonald's also allowed the children's hospital that received the first $1 million prize to keep it, since the money was spent on treatments for kids battling cancer and other terminal diseases. During the trial, more than 50 defendants were convicted of mail fraud and conspiracy. Some of them were sentenced to prison, others managed to overturn their cases on appeal because it was deemed they were being duped by Uncle Jerry. In the end, 60 winning tickets were stolen, totaling over $24 million in cash or assets. On the day of his trial, Jerry said, "This has been the biggest mistake of my life," and before leaving the courtroom, he shook hands with Special Agent Dent, the FBI agent who brought him to justice. Dent was of course who Jerry wanted to be earlier in life. He wanted to be an enforcer of the law, and instead, he was caught by one. Jerry Jacobson still lives in Georgia with his new wife, still paying off the court-ordered $12.5 million restitution. And that's the story. If you ever wondered why you never won the McDonald's monopoly, it's because it was never possible in the first place, all thanks to Jerry, the infamous McCriminal.
Ooh, it's 52 minutes. We'll at least watch some of it, because it does look good, and I like Carl.
Hello, you absolute legends. In 2017, the most expensive video game ever sold cost $30,000. It was a mint condition, sealed copy of the original Super Mario Bros. In 2021, the most expensive video game ever bought cost $2 million. But this was a very special game. Oh, actually, it was the same game. That's an increase of over 6,000% for the same game in just 4 years. Something very strange is happening in the world of video game collecting. Headlines are flooding the internet describing new records set for insane prices. But this is an extremely recent phenomenon, and one that seems to have arisen overnight. For the past several decades, video game collecting has honestly been pretty niche. truly dedicated collectors seemed to be few
Yeah,
and
like
far
angry video
between,
game
and
nerd.
even if they did amass a respectable collection, there was little fame to be gathered from it. In contrast to something like the art world, where collectors represent the richest of society, flaunting their lavish purchases, video game collecting was mostly done
Damn,
by
wait,
the
that looks
purist of
nice.
heart. Regular gamers,
Holy shit.
nerds in the truest sense, who were just so passionate about the hobby that they were happy to spend whatever spare cash they could scramble together to acquire a cart here or there, often as cheaply as they possibly could. Video game collectors weren't rich, but they didn't need to be either. Retro video games were never that expensive, therefore basically anyone could do it. And that was one of the great things about it. All you really
NFL
needed
Blitz.
was passion and time. But in
I wonder if any of the games I have
2018,
are worth anything.
something happened that would change everything. The launch of a company called Wata Games. This was
Oh, that's
no
fucking
ordinary
crazy,
launch,
Dyson. Okay.
and Wata is no ordinary company. There is a select group of very wealthy, very powerful people who are pulling the strings behind this recent spike in video game prices, and those same people are making money hand over fist.
Okay, so someone more knowledgeable than me. Is this a new grading company? I assumed that this grading company was like 40 years old. Like old as shit, grading games for a long time.
No,
But it seems
they
like
have
they're
not.
that old. It's saying it's the only one. So 2018 for that one, but there has to be an older one, right? I understand he talks about it, but I'm asking, isn't there like a really old one? Or are they all newer? Okay, so VGA is the old one. Thank you.
I heard the news of a $1.5 million Super Mario 64. This seemed too ridiculous for me to
Because I'd never
ignore.
even seen these
I knew
ratings
there
until
had to be more to
Mizkif.
the story than meets the eye, and boy, was I not wrong. This rabbit hole is deep. The bubble we are seeing in video games has been seen before in other collectibles for almost half a century. And the crazy thing is that each time it happens, the same people are involved. They know exactly what they are doing, and they know how to extract as much money as possible from suckers who believe the headlines. There is a lot of shady stuff going on, and you won't believe what I've found. This entire situation is fraught with unethical business practices, deception, collusion, and even fraud. By the end of this video, you will know exactly why this is happening, who is causing it to happen, and what needs to be done to stop it. I really hope you enjoy.
Thank you, that Camino. I've said for a long time I think grading is a fucking
Now,
scam.
before we get into the specific details about how this entire racket works, there are some concepts that I want you to be familiar with so that you can better understand the context. The first is the difference between the intrinsic and extrinsic properties of an object and how they relate to perceived value. Intrinsic properties lie within the object itself. For example, if we were to examine a painting, the intrinsic properties would be the materials it was made of, and also, of course, how the painting actually looked.
That's like the least
extrinsic
important
properties
thing
would
of a
be the
painting.
relationship the artwork
Most
had
of them
with
look like
everything
shit.
else. Who it was painted
Like a
by,
Jackson
when it
Pollock.
was painted, the context in which it was painted, and how sought after the piece is are all important qualities. When it comes to perceived value, it is the extrinsic qualities of a collectible that raises the cost significantly. Van Gogh paintings often sell for tens of millions of dollars. But
At least
if we
his
were
are
to
kinda
program
cool.
a robot to paint an identical piece, it wouldn't be worth much more than the cost of the paint and the canvas. Ultimately, both pieces would look the same on our wall. But us weird and wacky humans like to care about the details that don't directly impact us. We are even willing to spend millions of dollars more than
Quick
we
text
need
message,
to
goddammit.
because of these details. In the 17th century, during the Dutch Golden Age, an event happened known as Tulip Mania, where the price of tulip bulbs reached insane
Okay, there we
levels.
go.
At the time, tulip bulbs were a luxury item that were highly desired for their intense colors,
Thanks,
and
Risa.
as their
Anytime.
popularity slowly increased
And I
over the
heard-
years,
I'll check
the
it out later,
price
Cody.
inevitably went up.
Yes, in the back.
Yeah, we were just wondering. Do you know who else's C equals 8?
Well, actually, yes, I do.
My mom.
It's my mom.
There are many mysteries in the universe, and many mysteries that encircle Muscle Man. Is he human?
No.
Why does he keep the name without the muscles? And why does he think saying my mom is such a great insult? Today, let's take a scientific dive into what makes the insult my mom the ultimate insult. First, we'll look at the element of surprise. Second, we'll look at effects of self-deprecating humor. And third, why is it better than saying your mom? First, the element of surprise is a powerful tool when trying to conquer an enemy. And averting expectations on what people expect is exactly what happens when you use the powerful insult of my mom. Most people expect a mom joke, but they expect it to be a joke about their own mothers. In the case of Muscle Man, that'll never happen. Scientifically, what happens to our brain when we are surprised? This type of surprise won't necessarily cause a fight or flight response in your brain, but it's
Just
possible
confusion.
that some might get defensive or afraid of my mom jokes. Everybody's different. According to Scientific America, our brain may be primed to pay extra attention when we are surprised. In a recent Nature study, researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology found evidence that a hormone, noradrenaline, alters brain activity and an animal's subsequent behavior in these startling moments. So it's possible the surprise of the sweet burn of hearing my mom might actually cause your opponent or friend to enter into a period of extra paying attention-ness. Second, let's look at what self-deprecating humor does to the brain. Making fun of yourself or your situation is a magical tool in the tool belt of life. In some circumstances, people use it as a coping mechanism to deal with a situation or to break the ice and allow for further dialogue. Researchers from the Mind, Brain, and Behavior Research Center, or CIMCYC for short, but not really that short, have established that individuals who frequently use self-defeating humor aimed at gaining the approval of others through self-mockery exhibit greater levels of psychological well-being. It seems Muscle Man knew the power of his my mom jokes has multiple effects. So far, the insult of my mom has two effective parts to the joke. Let's take a look at the third. Why is it better than
Please
saying
don't tell me this
your
was
mom?
actually useful for something like a doctor
Movies,
thesis, something
TV
like that.
shows, music, and friends from all parts of the globe over several decades have used the old faithful your mom joke with great success. But why should my mom take the number one spot? The two reasons that we just went over are a great start and should be evidence enough that saying my mom is king. Honestly, your mom jokes could be reaching a level of overuse. Saying your dad jokes are funny, but I don't think they'll ever reach the success of your mom jokes. Yes, you could use several other family members after saying your, but remixes have found great success. Remakes of movies can suck, but every once in a while, they can surprise you and overtake the success of their predecessor. From now on, I recommend that my mom be a staple in your insult dictionary. It'll make you seem more intelligent with the element of surprise. It'll make you feel better on the inside making fun of yourself, but mostly your mom. And it'll start a new fad for centuries to come. We should all take a moment to thank Mitch,
Thine
aka
mother.
Muscle Man, for what he has given us. Thank you, Muscle Man.
What's up, everybody? This is Justin Wong, and we're back with more ST action. Cigar Bob, the aka Zangief Master, has came back, and this time he has a Fei Long. If you guys want to see how cool this character is, how this character had the most craziest mix-up, he had me in the corner for days. Make sure you guys check out this video, hit the like, share, subscribe, turn on the bells for the notification, and let's get into the video. Fei Long? Fei Long? Cigar Bar with the Fei. Yo, what's good with this? What's good with the buzzes? Oh, bruh, bro, my man. We just start out. I just started to get smoked like that. Oh my god, this Fei is OD. Yo, back at you. Back at you. Okay. No, we have played Cigar Bob many of times in this channel. Back-to-back perfects, bro. Okay. Let's go. Woo! Oh no. Oh my god, that was dirty. Now this is Cammy stage. Oh yes, look at that slow fireball. Slow to the doom. Bro, that setup was ham. He messed up though, but that setup was ham. Wait, you thought this is Fei Long stage? Nah, there's no way you thought this is Fei Long stage. It don't even sound Chinese.
No, it's Cammy's. That's the first stage I've played in this game.
Like, it don't even sound Chinese. There's many.
Back in like 2000 and I don't know, 8 or something. It was one of the first games I played emulated.
This is a castle. It's not even a wall. Look at the background. You think China has those type of sites? That looks like it's from the Northern Lights.
Britannia.
Oh my god. Oh my god. No, back. Oh. That's crazy. Yeah, it's a castle. My man said that's the Great Wall of China. He thought that was the Great Wall of China. Bro, my man. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Oh no. Bro, he said all my life, bro. My whole life.
His whole life was a lie.
Oh my god, that sucks. Like, this game is like about like every stage has a character theme. So every stage has a theme which like it resembles like the character, or you know what I mean? Oh my god, that's, bro, look at that. Bro. Nah, that's, bro. Oh my god. Fei Long's kind of cool though. I like Fei Long a lot. Like, he's a sick character. Oh no.
Tiger, uppercut.
Oh, we got lucky. We got so lucky there. Ooh, we got so lucky. Who's your face Bruce Lee fighter? What do you mean? Like my favorite type of Bruce Lee fighter? Rufus. Don't judge my Rufus. Bro, you know who Rufus reminds me of after I thinking about it? Bro, he reminds me of the fat old guy in WoW, in Cobra Kai. You know what I'm talking about? The Cobra Kai member, the fat guy, like the old guy. Well, he's not old, but like the middle-aged fat guy. He reminds me of Rufus. Stingray, yeah, Stingray. I finally get to the right side, finally. Yeah, Stingray. That's what Rufus reminds me of. He's so talkative. He's so talkative. Oh my god, not again. Not again. Oh my god. Mayday. Mayday. Oh. Do you still play Street Fighter 5? Not really. Not anymore. Yup, I knew that. Bro, he's mixing up that so good. He's... Oh, he could have punished that. He could have punished that. The flames! Hmm. You got it. 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 You can have the... take that. Deep. It's so funny how like projectiles works in this game. Oh my god, he tried. He tried. He tried, bro. He's a ho 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 ho. Mm. Oh, that jump rounds will work. Oh no. Missed the setup. It's over. It's so hard for Fei Long to make a... So hard for Fei Long to... So hard for Fei Long to make a comeback. It's so hard for Fei Long to make a comeback. Thank you guys for watching. Oh, he wants a run back. I'll give him a run back. Give him one run back. Oh no. Oh, that was last hit. Oh. Waiting for that chicken wing is hard. My man hit me with the dragon fierce. That all hit. Punish the flame kick with heavy. Bro, really? I didn't even know that. Okay, I'll definitely try to incorporate that. All right. No. No. Let's go. Ooh, we take those. Oh, you roundhouse tiger knee, Justin. That's what Roy said. Roundhouse tiger knee. No, why'd I guess? Terrible guess. That was beautiful. Ooh, we take these trades all day. Ooh, 1-1. Oh. It is so much damage. Yo, my Osaka don't get dizzy. My Osaka don't get dizzy. Don't get dizzy, bro. Oh no. Okay, we take that. We take that. Yo, Polar Bear with the $24. Thank you so much, man. Oh. Oh man, I am stuck in the corner. Oh. Oh my, free. Free. You lied to me, Roy. You lied to me. Reversal? Damn, that's mad tight. Okay, that's okay. I'm trying to DP it. Why am I always in the corner against Faye? God damn it. Yes. Oh no. Bro, come on, man. You know I'm gonna reversal like a maniac? You know I'm gonna reversal light punch DP all day? That's what I do. Oh, that didn't hit? See how that jab hit there? Oh no, why did I jump? Yes! Let's go!
Let's go, Justin.
Stay in your own lane. Because what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna swerve. Let's go. The momentum. The momentum. The momentum. Uh-oh. Oh no. Bro, he got another super? Oh! Straight cheek. Cheek punches. Oh no. Oh. Oh. Oh no. Oh, my man hit me with the meaties. Oh no. Can't get out of that. Can't get out of that. That was not good. Old school Sagat's it's just faster fireballs, big damage DPs, cancelable stand light kick. Oh no, why did I do that? Oh, good. Come on, man! Oh, I missed my DPs there. No, we take that. What? You can wake up with that? What? Rope? How dare you? Did you see that rope? Roll back! How dare you roll back? Roll back! I didn't see nothing. Bro, that rollback was there. No. Okay. Get up! Get up! Get! Oh my god, I wanted him to get up so bad. Nope. What? I'll take it. Oh no! Oh no! Oh my god. 4-4. Come here. Trade? Oh, I waited! I knew it! Oh my god. Come on! Oh my god, of course it has to be match point. I hate this. I hate this YouTube content. Wait, what? Why did I get knocked down? Oh no. Yeah! Honest damage. YouTube content stress is there, bro. Man, that was a little bit insane right there. Cut the YouTube video.
Thank you guys for watching. You know, I hope you guys enjoyed the YouTube videos and everything like that. It's been a very fun ride just playing all these games. So if you guys please can, make sure you guys hit the like, share, subscribe button. Leave a comment below on what type of videos you want me to make. And other than that, stay safe, stay healthy, and we'll see you in the next video. Peace.
Triple KO!
What is up, everybody? We are back with another episode of Triple KO, and today is an interesting topic because we're still talking about fighting games, of course, but we're going to talk about some of our most hated or worst fighting game characters of all time. And we are joined by myself, Mr. Matt McMuscles, and also Maximilian Dude. How are you guys doing today?
I believe before we say how we're doing, we need to preface this episode by, if you love certain characters in the world of fighting games, that's super cool. That's super okay. Everyone loves their fighting game and video game characters, but it's just video games at the end of the day. I'm doing good, Justin. How are you?
And I'd like to also preface that today is a very special day. We're going to bust some heads and we're going to make you feel bad for liking the things you like.
Yeah, it's also possible that we might even debate on against each other, because we might say characters that you know we may like, but we may also hate at the same time, right?
It's on that note, why don't you start us off, Justin, with a character from any franchise that you like? Max made a suggestion. Maybe we should all, if you start off with like a Street Fighter character, let's say, or a Tekken, let's just stay on that franchise until we've exhausted our dislikes, and then we can move on to something else, because I think it's better to organize it that way, because sometimes you forget.
We could start at like the very beginning, the dawn of time, like Street Fighter 2, where like all the archetypes were essentially crafted and sort of like, well, we have to figure out, do we hate the character? Like, there needs to be some stipulations. Do we hate the character themselves? Do we hate fighting against the character? Do we hate using the character? Or do we just hate to hate? Like, what is it?
For me, it's like the character, their design and their attitude